Hi, my name is Murphy-Hernandez, and today I'm doing my demonstration speech for Communication 101. Now, the purpose of this speech is to show you how to properly prepare for a hike. Now, as someone who has almost ended up on the news a couple times due to poor preparation to a now self-proclaimed granola god, I for one cannot stress how important it is to properly prepare for a hobby like hiking. Now, hiking has a lot of benefits to it. It has mental and physical benefits to it. And it's also relatively free, and we like free. So today I'll demonstrate how to properly prepare for a hike by selecting the right gear, packing the essentials, and doing proper research and going over ethics. So get ready to lace up your hiking boots, because today we are going to make sure your next hike turns out to be a beautiful memory and not a cautionary tale. So the first step to properly preparing for a hike is selecting the right gear. Footwear is essential to hiking, and here I have my hiking boots. They're well loved, well used. I got them at Walmart. They're like 25 bucks. So you don't need expensive items, and you don't need name brand items, right? So as long as they're sturdy, reliable, they can help you navigate tough terrain or slippery slopes. So the next item of gear that I want to talk to you about is hiking sticks. So these are going to come in handy when you have incline heavy hikes and just overall keeping your balance. You're going to see a lot of elderly people use those, but really anyone of any age can benefit from using those. I, for one, personally wish I had those on a couple of my hikes. Talking about you, Mary Jane Falls. So those are just really overall a great item to have. The next item of gear I want to talk to you about is attire. Here I have sweat wicking shirt, tactical pants, and a bandana. You want to aim for clothing that is like lightweight, airy, and just overall flexible. Now you can always do hikes in jeans or denim. However, there are going to be more restricting and overall make your hikes a little more uncomfortable. So now that we've gone over the proper gear, I'm going to talk about packing the essentials now. So the first item that you want to pack that's essential is water, arguably the most important. They say to aim for about half a liter of water per hour of hiking. I tend to double that. It's just my personal preference, but you do what works for you. I also pair it with liquid IV. It's just great for replenishing your electrolytes and overall tastes better. So there's a couple ways that you can bring that. You can bring it in a reusable water bottle, or I like to put it in a hydration pack. It's just more convenient that way. The next item that I want to talk to you about is a first aid kit. So these are small and compact, and it's great in case of an emergency, and it can hold you over until you can seek proper medical attention. The next items that I would bring would be a compass and a flashlight. So those are items that you have on your phone already. However, in case of an emergency where you got to reserve your battery life or your phone's already dead, they're great to have on hand, like great to already have on hand. So the next item that I want to talk about is nutrition. You want to go for foods that are high in protein, calories, so things like beef jerky, watermelon, nuts, hard-boiled eggs, sandwiches, anything that's light. You want to avoid things that can upset your stomach or are high in fiber. So I tend to avoid hot chips, fast food, anything greasy, because you don't want nature to come calling while you're in nature, right? Speaking of nature calling, the next items that I would bring with me would be hand sanitizer, disposable wipes, and mini trash bags. These are great items to have in general, but overall, they're just useful to have in case of an emergency and there's no restroom around. The final items that I would bring with me be sunblock, a life straw, bear mace, a flint, matches, a safety blanket. So these are all going to help in case you get stranded or you have to spend the night, or if your hike takes longer than expected. Now you can always tailor the essential / non-essential items to fit your specific needs. I would just make sure to have water, food, just that sort of things. Now, next thing we're going to talk about is research and ethics. So the first order of research you want to do is going to be weather, right? You want to make sure that you check the weather out of the area that you're going to be going for heat advisories, high winds. It's going to be super cold. If there's going to be rain, these are all going to affect your experience when hiking. The next item that I would research would be this app right here. It's called All Trails, and it's very useful, and it's specific for hiking. So the All Trails app allows you to gauge the difficulty of prospective trails. It allows you to read other users' experience with prospective trails. So it tells you if there's going to be some rock climbing involved. It's very useful in that. And it also allows you to it also allows you to download the apps offline. So that's very useful if you're hiking and there's no service. So, and most of the time when you're hiking, there is going to be little to no service. So the next item that I want to talk about is just communicating with somebody in your trusted circle. This is specific for solo hiking, which I tend to do a lot. So you want to tell someone where you're going to be hiking, how long the hike is going to take, and when they can expect to hear back from you. This is going to be helpful if you get lost or if you get injured, they know where to look for you. And the last thing I want to talk about is just more on the ethical side of hiking. So it's a pack it in, pack it out rule. And that's pretty much means that what you take in, you want to take out with you, right? So you want to leave little to no trace of your visit as possible. And we want to keep the trails nice and clean for everybody to enjoy. So in conclusion, we covered gear, packing essentials, and research. I want to reiterate that hiking is an amazing hobby. It's great for working out and just recentering if we do it responsibly, because it can be dangerous. I hope today I provided you with some useful tips. And I want to leave you here with one of my favorite quotes by J.R.R. Tolkien, and it's, "Not all those who wander are lost." Thank you. And this is my audience. Thank you.